Now it is all about the two-wheel drive cars as they're getting ready to go. Randy Zimmer in the number 64, 96 Mazda. He's going to start things off, and then you move on over to our next competitor, number 141. Oh, yeah, that's none other than Sean Medcroft in the 86 Mercury. And then we cruise on over to our next driver they're going to be seeing out here in the number 466, Brian Gottlieb, out here ready to make things happen in the 88 Toyota FX16. And then moving on to the guy who won things out in Irwindale. He knows how to make things happen. Dillon Van Way, the number 600. So we'll see how Dillon Van Way, he had some problems with that car. He got it back together. And then the guy who has a corner named after him. Yeah, the 79 Dodge Omni, number 85, Doug Folsom. And we all remember earlier, Doug Folsom, he rolled that car. And we renamed that corner after the Boneyard, Folsom's Corner.
I think if you roll a car, you should have a corner named after you, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, do you get the jump named after you if you don't get over there?
Sure. But one thing I want to tell you now, look, this is the first time today, 5 cars on the grid.
Wow.
The other thing that comes with 5 laps. So this is the B main, 5 cars, 5 laps. The winner advances to the A main and the chance to stand on the top step of the podium and get those points to go towards X Games.
We'll be handing out the awards on the podium after we finish the A final for two-wheel drive. We'll do the same thing for the A final for the all-wheel drive as race controls about ready to start our drives. Looks like we're getting thumbs up.
5 cars into 1 corner. Here we go. Pretty even break. Medcroft gets squeezed out, hasn't done the brakes. Now Dillon Van Way, definitely the favourite, gets into the bottom corner first, goes onto the Boneyard, but they bunch up as they go into Boneyard. Doug Folsom's trying to go around the outside of Brian Gottlieb. We saw what happened earlier with Richard Burden, but he's still going around the outside of Brian Gottlieb. Coming into Folsom's corner itself, Dillon Van Way leads. Okay, followed by Doug Folsom's going up the inside of Brian Gottlieb. He wants to be in that A main. This is it. Put up or shut up. Go home time. Randy Zimmer losing a bit of body work. But Dillon Van Way in the warehouse, leading now. And there's sparks coming out of Dillon's right front wheel, like the brake is locking on it or something. Let's see if we can catch that again. But Dillon Van Way, see who takes the Joker early. Dillon Van Way's taking the regular course. Randy Zimmer following him through. Doug Folsom is taking the Joker, so Doug Folsom is going to jump into the lead. Sean Medcroft is following. Now, the danger for Dillon Van Way of not taking the Joker early is he could catch these cars up and lose time that he needs. So let's see. Dillon Van Way comes through. He's onto the Boneyard. And Doug Folsom's already going round Folsom's corner.
So without a hitch, Folsom getting around it.
So 4 laps to go now for Doug Folsom. He hasn't done the Joker yet. Then Sean Medcroft, Dillon Van Way, Randy Zimmer and Brian Gottlieb. Into the warehouse they go. This was when we could see the sparks last time. Let's see if we see the same thing again. Here we do. There is definitely sparks coming off the bottom of the calipers of Dillon Van Way as he goes onto heavy braking in the warehouse. Very, very spectacular coming through there. Doug Folsom gets it a little bit wrong going into the hairpin section. That's cost him a lot of time. Dillon Van Way goes through on the Joker lap into the lead.
So Dillon Van Way doing what he needs to do right there, just kind of run his race, but we'll see if that car can hold up for Dillon Van Way.
Yeah, there's a very strong battle for second place. Sean Medcroft is coming into second place from Doug Folsom now. Of course, Brian Gottlieb then goes in front because he took the Joker lap. But Sean Medcroft's in a good position here because there's definitely something on the right front of Dillon Van Way's car under braking. Sean Medcroft in second with Folsom behind. Brian Gottlieb leapfrogged him with the Joker. So Brian Gottlieb, Sean Medcroft, Doug Folsom. Into the warehouse they go, into the darkness. Dillon Van Way's been in and out of the warehouse. Comes over the bump, 3 laps to go now for Dillon. Down into the hairpin. Medcroft comes through the kink, through the short chute. Lost some time there to Brian Gottlieb. Tried to get on his back, but Brian kept it smooth. Sean drifted a little bit out once again as Folsom drifts out. Second lap running, he's doing that. Now Randy Zimmer comes through on the Joker. Folsom's lost too much time now. So Randy Zimmer jumps up into second place.
And Folsom with some problems, having to back up, so not getting around that hairpin. going to cost more time to Folsom as Dillon Van Way makes his way.
2 laps to go now for Dillon as he comes through into the warehouse. Let's see if we can see this. It could just be the brake disc, but something definitely not only glows. The sparks have gone this time when he went into the corner. Randy Zimmer got it wrong as he came out the S's. That allowed Brian Gottlieb and Medcroft to catch him up. Dillon Van Way down now into the hairpin section. He doesn't have to worry about time, remember. All Dillon needs to do is win. If he wins, he's in the A final. Dillon, who had bad luck in Irwindale, had a big crash. Remember, you can see that tonight. Had a big crash at Irwindale when he was a dominant car. You see Randy Zimmer going around the hairpin now, followed by Gottlieb, who just had a problem in that section. Dillon comes around. He sees the 1 lap to go board as he comes through Folsom, across the line. That's what he wants to see. Just take his time now. He's got a massive lead here as Medcroft tries to go up the inside of Gottlieb on the boneyard. Oh, he has to back out of that. Otherwise, he'd have been pushing Gottlieb over the barrier. But Gottlieb's got it very wide. But round Folsom, these guys are having a great fun, these Northwest drivers. They're enjoying this now. So Gottlieb comes through on the S's. Windscreen wipers going. Randy Zimmer's in the warehouse. Medcroft is trying to catch them up. Sean Medcroft, who only decided to enter this race at the last moment after a lot of pressure from some friends. We see Zimmer go out through the short chute. Dillon Van Way comes around the other hairpin. Pulls the e-brake as he goes around. So Dillon Van Way through the funnel. Going to come onto the boneyard for the last time.
This is what he needed to do. Dillon Van Way needed to take the win out here to try and make it into the A main. And he's doing just that as the checkered flag is out. And here he comes. Crossing is Dillon Van Way, taking the win right there. Dillon Van Way taking the top spot. And here comes Randy Zimmer. Randy Zimmer grabbing the second spot as he comes around Folsom's corner and crosses in. So Randy Zimmer and then Sean Medcroft. Sean grabbing the third spot, and Brian Gottlieb will be coming in too as well. Here we go.
Oh! And in the background there, you saw Sean Medcroft. Behind Sean Medcroft, Brian Gottlieb managed to hit the tire on the inside of Folsom's corner, pushed him back out, didn't flip or anything, but pretty spectacular last lap of the last race for him for the day.
Yeah, and that hood's popping around right there for Gottlieb. That'll finish it off, getting across the line.
Action all the way to the end. That's what you want. Commitment.
That is your two-wheel drive B main for you right there. Guys doing a great job.